Hi everyone. We're expecting Gigi Cohen, who is an amazing astrologer, and she's going to talk about the Venus and Pisces, all that stuff. I mean, that's pretty significant. I mean, that's like I'm kind of scared. So we're waiting for Gigi to enter. In the meantime, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going to happen in the new year. So, we're entering 2022, which, is huge. It is 222. I mean, what can you say about that? Two is the number of intuition, sensitivity. It is very much the soul expression. It's one of those energies that a lot of the kids, the special kids being born 2000 and later, the millennials, I guess you could say, that have that special gift about the intuitiveness and all of that stuff. So the thing is, with the fact that we're entering a 222, but it's also a 6, which is relationships, starting, ending, changing relationships. So it doesn't mean just intimate relationships. It means all relationships. It means relationships of every kind. So that means, coworkers, friends, you name it. Everyone is going to have kind of I don't know, like an adjustment or a redo or a let go. So the thing is with that, you're going to see a lot of people fall away and new people come in. And that's going to be, tough for a lot of people because, we have these people that are close to us and that, that carry a lot of weight with us. But the thing is, it's like we have to let go what doesn't serve us. And that's what I've been focusing on lately, is just really setting boundaries, which is huge for me. And that, I think, is a lot about Venus and retrograde, because I'm setting boundaries in an attempt, not in an attempt, but I guess in a focused to-do list to set boundaries so that I can develop self-love. Because I'm always a giver. If you think of the 5 love languages, mine is giving, gift giving, and I give and I give and I give. So that is huge for me. Like, that is, what I do. So that is my love language. And so giving tends to sometimes drain you. Like today, I went to San Pedro. I drove a lot for somebody who, I don't know, I'm not sure if they deserve it or not, but I did it anyway because I felt like they did. So that's who I am. And if you know me, you know that I gift give, and that's how I show my love and appreciation for people in my life. So I want to say, basically, I have to contact Gigi because, she's supposed to be on air with us right now, and she's not. I have this little heart again. I don't know. Look, I can put my hand through it. I love it. It's like, it's just like, oh, okay. So let me see if I can get her on air with us right now, because she has a lot to say, a lot about. Let me just put her on air with us, because as much as I want to say, 2022, we have relationships, we have huge amounts of, it's just like crazy off the hook. Like, I just want to cover my head and just like wait till it's over, because I want to find that significant other. I want to find that person that is that is, compatible with me, and I'm a strong personality. I mean, I can't disregard that in any stretch of the means. But at the same time, I'm also very loving, and I think that's my Scorpio, my Scorpio moon. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I need someone who's going to match my intelligence, but also match my giving, because I can't be with a taker. It just doesn't work. So, you have to think of all those things when you're thinking about love, because that's the number one question I get. I go through a whole reading, and then people are like, well, what about love? What about all of that? And I'm like, well, this and that and the other. I mean, you could be stepping into your path and your purpose, which means that love is kind of taking a back seat, or that you're not ready yet, or all these things. There's so many things that can be a huge hindrance in finding that love. So hold on, I'm gonna just move this for a second just to see if I can get Gigi on board here. Oh, here we go. We have Gigi. Add to stream. Gigi. So here she comes. And she is so fabulous. Well, even though I have this little heart, I don't know, I can't remove it, but it's cool. Gigi, are you there? I can't see your video though.
I am here, and for some reason, the camcorder, the camera is not working.
Okay, all right.
Like it won't unclick for me, and it's saying press Control plus E, and I'm doing that, and nothing's happening.
Well, the thing is, the energies are like off the hook, right? I mean, they're just crazy. So that's another thing that's happening. So let me see if I can.
Is there a control on your end that says I can?
Let me just see. No, I think you have to add your own. Let me see. So I stopped my own cam, but I think you have to do your own. So
it won't let me start it. It won't unblock.
That's so crazy. So what about you, Instagram? If you go on my live, if you go on Michelle Herbeau or at Michelle Herbeau, can you join my live? It should say join live, and then I can get you accepted. So you're saying yours is a galactic. Bear with us, people. We're just newbies here. We're doing, we're starting this in the new, kind of, sort of the new year. I mean, this is like not the new year yet, but we're just, we're doing it as kind of an impromptu thing, because people need to know what's going on. People need to know what's happening, because LA is like, I was telling Gigi, it's like a zombie city. People are just walking around like they are in a drone state. It is really kind of sad in a way. It's just like, wow, it's just, I don't know. But if Gigi, you could go at michelleherbeau.com and look at my live and see if you can add yourself. That would be super cool, because I just came back from San Pedro, so I'm like trying to fix myself, so if I look bad, that's okay. It's okay. I mean, we're entering 2022. We're cool. We're like, jiving, like it. Judge me as you will, but that's that. But I'll tell you, just from my numerology perspective. Oh, I see. Gigi's having. Let me see. She's having a hard time. Okay, so like I said, we have the 2s, which is highly sensitive, very, extremely sensitive. It's all about emotions. It's all about here. But at the same time, it's all about creativity and creative expression and really taking what we have started in the 5 year, which is all about career and getting things done and, going after our path and our purpose. That is huge right now. Huge. And so as we enter the new year, it's going to go into a 6, which is creativity, creative expression, but also relationships. So we have a twofold. And it's harsh. It really is, because both kind of depend on each other. Because if we think about relationships, it's not just about personal relationships, it's about all of the relationships. So if you think about the fact that we have our business relationships and, work relationships, it dictates where we're going to go and how we're going to go and how it's going to be and all of that. And it's not just about that kind of relationship, it's about every kind of relationship. So it's huge. And I wish Gigi could be on, because she would really talk about the fact that today Venus is going retrograde. It's huge. Pisces. It's a Pisces thing. It's like, I don't know. I'm not even, like, I guess, qualified to talk about this, but it's like, I wish that she could come on, because she would really talk about this. But tomorrow we're going to talk more about this, and I just wanted to kind of get a primer for you, because it is so huge. I mean, can you not feel it? Can you not feel this thing that is happening? I mean, it is freaking huge. It is like okay. All right, guys. So I just see that I went live now on Instagram. I thought I was live, and I wasn't. I guess technologically challenged. But I want to say that this is kind of a primer for tomorrow's show, because things are going in a Venus retrograde slash Pisces. We're talking feelings, and of course I have a little heart right here that I can't seem to get rid of. I don't know what's going on with that, but take that little heart with a grain of salt. But it really is, you know, I guess meant to be, because it is all about Venus and all about Pisces, and, and it's all about being in your feelings, which is huge, totally huge. So I want to say this is kind of a primer for tomorrow's show that Gigi and I are gonna do. I mean, we at attempts, I definitely come on and talk about all of this, but tomorrow is a better day. But I'm telling you, today is when it enters that Venus slash Pisces, the whole 9 yards. And that's all I can say about that. But I can say in the numbers that it's relationships, but on all levels, starting, ending, changing relationships. So it's work, it's personal life, it is all of those. So if you have a question, if you want to put your question down, you can buy a badge. You can, donate Venmo. My Venmo is, it's a number sign, like the dollar sign at celeb numbers. So, it's my Venmo. And so if you want a reading, just type your comments in the comments below, and we will definitely answer your questions. I'm not sure why Gigi can't join tonight, but I just wanted to give a little primer, because, wow, today has been a really harsh day for me. It has been, I've been to San Pedro, I've been all over LA, and, driving is not really my thing. So, it's been up and down. I'm having a lot of trouble with relationships myself. I'm just, deciding who and why I want to be with who I want to be with. And I see Gigi's trying to connect right now. Hopefully she can. I'm hoping so. But if not, tomorrow we're going to have a huge show. We're going to have an awesome, you know, incredible show. But yeah, right now I'm just trying to decide who is most compatible for me, who is going to bring me the most joy and happiness in my life at this point, because I'm 43. It's not like I'm a spring chicken, but I do have. Oh, we do have Gigi. Okay, Gigi, are you there?
This is, as much as I would love to be able to have my face
It's
on
okay.
the camera.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as you
Yeah,
can talk,
yeah,
that's fine. Because I was talking a little bit about, myself and relationships and all of that stuff. And, people associate Venus with relationships. So I was really talking about that. But you have a lot more to say about Venus and all of that, and Pisces, and, what that means in particular. So go ahead.
yeah. Well, thank you so much. And I apologize to everyone for the delay. I don't know what these technical difficulties are about in terms of the 3D world. Uh, I
Well,
have my,
Gigi. I mean, think about it. I mean, huge things are happening, right? Like oh, she's disconnected again. Gigi she's in a different part of town. Like she's kind of, a little bit farther away. So, that's the whole thing. But she has a lot to say, and astrologically, but numerologically as well, it's huge. Like it's more than just creativity and relationships. They're 666, like fox. I mean, I see foxy shells. My friend, Shelly, she's joined, and she has worked for Fox 11. And media in general, I mean, just as a mainstream thing, has been hugely deceptive. And it's not just Fox or whoever. It's just, it's all of the medium that we've been watching. And I haven't been watching it at all, because that's not something that I choose to watch, because I don't want to engage in that. That's not something that is in my stratosphere. So, I some people think I live under a rock. Well, maybe I do live under a rock. I mean, that's my choice, and that's what I want to do. But I've been told by several people that there's a lot of misconception with the media. And hi, Gigi, you're back.
hi,
Okay,
yes.
so mhm. Okay, so
So
go ahead.
let's see if we can get through this because it is kind of time sensitive. I
Yes.
would like everybody to know, as we said in the show promo,
Mm.
that Jupiter, as of, well, actually in 15 minutes from now, will be moving into the sign of Pisces. Now, of course,
Mm-mm.
let's just qualify what I mean by in
Mm.
15 minutes. I would imagine that people are, especially if you're aware of energy and if you feel that you're sensitive to energy, I would imagine that people have already been feeling that there's a
Oh, for sure, for sure. She got cut off again, but I can see what she's saying. Like, in 15 minutes, we're going to be entering Pisces, which is the water sign. Like, we're talking about fish, like this is like the water sign. They have their head in the clouds. I mean, they tend to be wishy-washy, dreamy, like they dream their own kind of dreams sometimes. And that's kind of a huge thing for a lot of people, especially Capricorns, who, like myself, who are supposed to be practical. um, but I do have a Scorpio moon, so I take Pisces a little bit differently. It's, I resonate with it more. So that's an interesting thing, that we're soon in 15 minutes entering that Pisces realm, which is, your head in the clouds, dreams, kind of like, you know, that kind of, um, thought process, which is a good thing in a way, because you're really thinking about, um, dreaming up things, which is good in terms of intention and manifestation. And even though it might seem like a lot of people feel like, okay, I'm ahead in the clouds or whatever, it's not. It's intention. So they're really good at that. Okay, Gigi, go for it. Go. Are you there, Gigi?
Oh, here we are. Okay. So you
Yes,
know what? I have to
go.
ask you a quick question. A quick question. Did
Yes.
you add me as a guest? Did you, could it be that I'm not able to access all of this because we're not set up for two people? Maybe
I
not.
don't think so. No, because I
Oh,
gave you the link to
okay.
be invited as a guest, so you should be okay.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I thought I'd ask. Okay.
Yeah, I think
So
it's in your connection.
so we've got Jupiter at 0 degrees, which is it's the first degree that when a planet
Mm,
moves from one sign to another.
ouch.
And so it is jam packed with energy. It is the first stepping into Jupiter, stepping into the sign of Pisces. What does that mean? Well, first of all, let's break this down. Jupiter is the planet that represents luck, expansion, higher knowledge, gurus, the guru that we may seek on the outside, and certainly the guru that we have from within our own selves. So, Jupiter in Pisces is going to have the look through the lens of Pisces. And Pisces, the
Mm,
representations for Pisces are faith and acceptance and compassion and art and music and creativity in those ways, where it's actually channeled through specific directions like the fine arts, like music.
mhm.
Yeah. And
No,
so
they're so great, aren't they? Like, Pisces are such great people. They're so
they
compassionate.
very
So,
often are in film and they're
yeah,
in music and they're in dance and they're it is certainly a time where we will see a lot of expression of that creativity in the arts,
right.
in the professional arts.
Mm,
So then Pisces is also about spirituality, and there's a big punctuation there about spirituality because Neptune rules film, and Neptune also rules spirituality, and we have Jupiter connecting in the sign of Pisces. So Jupiter is the biggest planet. So we've got the bigness of Jupiter, we've got the expansion qualities and expansiveness of Jupiter. And so all these things that Pisces represents are going to
mhm,
be expanded through
mm,
Jupiter being passing through and wearing that personality and that lens and traveling through that sign. So
right.
it's bringing with it a lot of, some like to call it exaggeration. I like to call it magnification. So it's going to be like Pisces on steroids.
Mhm. Well, I've known some Pisces, and it's not necessarily that they're all, down to earth. Some of them are way lost in their stratosphere, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So there are some like that. And I worry about that with everybody going into this Pisces mode. How are we going to utilize that energy?
Well, see, that's the thing. There's a higher expression and a lower expression of every sign. And so, if we were to talk about Pisces, Pisces, the higher expression would be about compassion, it would be about faith, it would be about artistry, and it would also be about intuition, and it would be about dreams, taking those. Uh, and Jupiter is about visions, by the way. So, Jupiter is helping Pisces to contain the visions and really do something with those visions. And so now that it's 0 degrees, we just happen to have the
Zero
nodes moving
degrees.
out.
That's so crazy.
The
0 degrees.
nodes are moving out of Sagittarius and Gemini, and they're at 0 degrees at the
Sagittarius and
moment.
Gemini. That's like crazy, though.
Right.
I
They're
need that Sagittarius and Gemini.
Well, so because they're square to one another, it's
Yeah.
setting up a very powerful energy to say, okay, how can we make these two energies or three energies work for us? And because Pisces is the dreamer, we'll choose some archetypes here. Because Pisces is the dreamer, and because Gemini is the communicator, and Sagittarius, which is the south node, is the visionary.
Mm.
Well, imagine that we have an opportunity right now to take a quantum leap, because 0 is the 0 point of stillness and quantum leap, like the black hole. And so
Oh.
imagine taking all of the dreams and visions and filling that black hole with with all the goodness of taking that quantum leap. Like it's got all the ingredients within, contained within. And so that's why I was really kind of wanted to get this message out with a timeliness and an urgency, because it is time sensitive. By the time January rolls around and we're only a week away, it will be moving into the next north node and south node signs of Taurus and Scorpio.
Ooh. Good. So how does that affect me with Scorpio moon?
Well, let's just say, not to avoid your question, but let me just front that. Let me precede that with
Okay.
letting people know that the nodes are all about shared resources in Scorpio, South Node in Scorpio, and about our own resources, whether that be material possessions, uh, whether that be our own talents, skills, and talents, and our own gifts that we have within our own selves and in our own world. So it's the individual having that versus the other side of that, which would be the south node, where Scorpio is all about shared resources. So we're going to see a lot of interplay
Hmm.
between our own
Shared
resources
resources.
and
Are you
shared
really?
resources. Yes.
Really? No,
Mhm.
I have to like cut you off there because I know a Scorpio who is not about shared resources. They're very,
I didn't say that
entitled, I
sign
guess you
was
could say.
good at it.
So
I didn't say that
yeah.
sign was bad
Yeah.
or
So
good at it.
okay. So in general, that's what it's supposed to be.
That is the um, those are the, we'll just say it as the descriptions or the archetypes. When we kind of put frameworks around all of this, we put a framework around what does the nodes in Scorpio, what do they say?
Right.
And Taurus, of course,
Right.
you've got to do the opposite signs at once. In other words, you can't have a north node, you can't talk about the north node without considering the south node. In other words, it's not as a balanced approach. So every time we talk about the nodes, and that's why plural is because we're looking at the
Right.
north node and we're looking at the south node. So just because if it's just because there happen to be in when we look at the wheel, the natural zodiacal wheel, which starts with Aries, by the time we get to Scorpio, it's in the eighth house, and it's
Mm.
the eighth house that talks about shared resources.
Really? I never knew
Yes.
that. That's so amazing because I never thought Scorpio was like that. I mean, I have a Scorpio moon, and yes, my love language is giving, It's like I want to give, I want to help, I want to share my resources. So I get that, but I know a lot of Scorpio sun signs who are not like that.
Yeah, and just because they are not like that doesn't mean that that sign in and of itself doesn't have the indication that when we look at the eighth house, we see that that house contains the concept of shared resources. And what sign rules that house? But Scorpio. And so not all Scorpios are the same.
So what do you mean by shared resources? Like, what does that mean exactly?
Okay, so for instance, the eighth house comes after the seventh house, and the
Yeah.
seventh house is the house of marriage and partnerships.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then the second house after the seventh house is the partner's resources.
Mm,
So the
interesting.
so the eighth house, if we look at the seventh house, we look at, oh, there's my partner. If we look at the eighth house, we see, oh, whatever is,
Oh.
yes.
Okay,
So,
so looking at someone's chart, if you were looking at your own chart, you would look at the seventh house to see who your partner is, and then looking at the eighth to see if they have the resources to be your partner.
well, looking at the eighth, we would see the quality of the resources that they would
Uh,
bring to the relationship.
ooh, that is so interesting. I'm going to write that down right now. Keep talking.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, so it'll be something I think we should talk about, isolate this kind of the North Node conversation for another show because we can go really deep with, of course, we're going to be dealing with this for 18 months.
Wow, that's so incredible. Like, because think about it, with the COVID situation and what's going on, I mean, people are needing to re-socialize literally. Like, we've been in the house not socializing and not, really being out and about. So it's like dating is a whole new thing. It's like, do we do the apps? Do we do how do we do it? Like, what do we do? How do we find that person? And if you already have that person, sometimes it can, because you've spent so much time with them in a closed space, you may need to kind of reinvent the wheel a little bit, just kind of refresh things
That's
and
right.
look at things from a different perspective. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole, so 18 months is probably realistic and significant in terms of needing that.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's also the house that's ruled by death, taxes, intimacy, healing, and transformation.
Right. So how do you feel? This is just a random kind of thing, just because of Scorpio. So if someone has a Scorpio sun sign, and I've read this, that in particular Scorpio, for some reason, Scorpio sun sign versus the Scorpio moon sign. If you're with someone who has a Scorpio sun sign and you have a Scorpio moon sign, it is highly attractive. It is very irresistible, I guess you could say, and it's particularly that sign. I'm not sure
No,
why.
it's not
No.
particularly that sign. In relationship astrology, I can say with confidence that two people that have this each other's sun and moon. In other words, one person has the same sign as their sun, and the other person has the same sign as for their moon.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk this out a little bit. It makes sense because I hope it makes sense to everyone once I explain that the sun represents the masculine, the yang energy, and the moon represents the female, feminine, not the female, but the
Oh,
feminine
I see.
energy, the yin. And when the sun and moon come together, we have a divine union.
Hmm.
So when someone has, for instance, if I meet a Leo guy,
Right.
uh, a sun, and I have my Leo moon,
Mm-hmm.
I very much get along with Leo men. A lot of people
Really?
have a hard time. Now, that's
Yeah, I
not
have a hard
true.
time with Leo people in general. I butt heads with them
Right.
majorly.
But that's not
Huge.
to say, you know, I'm making blanket statements here. So let me qualify this. When
Mhm.
I say this, it's a general rule of thumb. There
Mhm.
are going to be those Leos that I don't, feel drawn to because they have mitigating factors for me, meaning they have something in their chart that overrides the
Yeah.
compatibility portion of what that would normally deliver to a relationship or an
Mhm.
attraction.
Right.
Yeah. So we have to
Yeah,
take more than just the sun and the moon. But
I
in
know.
general, when I meet a Leo, they usually bring a smile to my face, like I
Really.
could, yeah, I'm just
You
enjoying their
don't think they're
presence.
too much? I mean, because you have other factors in your chart. So,
Well, I have Venus in Gemini, so my Venus, which is my, relationship kind of, Venus desires and relationships and all that stuff, is sextile, which means that there's a
mm,
nice little tete-a-tete relationship going on there too. They have good kind of vibes with each other. They're air and fire. So air
okay.
lends to fire and, strokes the fires.
So let
Yeah.
me ask you a question then. So I'm a Capricorn with my Venus in Capricorn, and we're talking about Venus. So what does that mean for me if I have my Venus in Capricorn? And I am a Capricorn, but I'm not a typical Capricorn. Like I have organized chaos around me right now. Like I'm not an organized person. Like I'm not a
Right.
practical. I wing it most of the time, and I have a lot of Sag in my chart. I have a lot of like Gemini, Scorpio, Libra. I have some Pisces, Mars and Leo, Jupiter and Gemini. Like
Oh,
I have,
there you go. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm not a typical Capricorn, right? So the fact that my
Venus
Venus
is
is
in
in
Capricorn.
Capricorn too, it just, and I have a high
Okay.
sex drive. Okay, so let's get personal here. Like I have a high sex drive, and like maybe it's my moon in Scorpio. I don't know. But because my Venus is in Capricorn, it seems like it would be dampened down, but it's not.
No, no, no.
So, yeah.
No. Okay, so I think people are under the impression with the Venus signs that it
Yes.
describes everything about a
Yes.
relationship. Hmm?
Right. And this is what I want you to clarify because everyone thinks, okay, Venus is like relationships and love and sex and all of that. But
Right.
it's so much more than that.
So I would like to put that on hold for a moment.
Hmm.
We'll come back to that. And let me finish up because I want to make sure that I don't leave the dangling participle that I started to talk about, which
Yes.
was the visions of the 0 degrees, Jupiter, and its square the current 0 degree nodes in
Yes.
Gemini and Sagittarius.
Scary.
So this is an opportunity.
Gemini and Sagittarius. That just like scares the heck out of me because
Okay, so
Gemini,
listen
Gemini and
closely.
Sagittarius are like the scariest signs I know of. I mean,
Okay.
like, you're scaring me to death right now.
Okay. Well, listen closely because no need to fear.
Mm,
This is a time where it is opening a portal. It is opening a portal of energy for us to drop into that portal the visions, the dreams,
yeah,
the
mm,
imaginings of what
yes.
we want to see and take a quantum timeline leap.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. It's like I've
Good.
been looking for someone for so long that wants to do that, like to take the leap and but no one is really at that level. It's like maybe I'm a little bit.
We're not talking about relationships here. We're talking about ourselves. We're talking about what I'm going to do as a ceremony. And I recommend that people consider doing this as well. Very simply, to get a pen and paper out, a journal, and write out those things that you want to see. If you were to take a quantum leap, what
Mm.
would your life look like?
Crazy. No, really. I mean, I want it all, and I want it all now. And I have these crazy
Of
dreams,
course.
and I've always had crazy dreams. I've always had bigger visions, and even when I was a kid, I'm like, why are you saying this? Why are you saying you're going to be something great when you're in poverty and living with your mom, in a poverty state? It's like, where is this coming from? But I've always carried that throughout my life, whether it was when I took the quantum leap and, made it into something successful. But I've always wanted, that's always been my dream. It's always been my climbing staircase, always.
So, then isn't this great news that this is an actual moment in time
Yeah,
that is being infused and the portal is open
yeah.
and it is primed and ready for that to be written and
But what scares me is that you're talking about Gemini and Sag. It's like I thought I had to avoid those people like the plague. I thought I had to avoid those energies like the plague. But I have a lot of that in my chart, which means I guess I'm supposed to engage in those energies, but they don't particularly resonate with me straight on. Like if I was to say, okay, a Gemini or a Sag, just like, they don't really resonate with me, but somewhere, somehow, just intermingled. I don't know. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot in my chart with those. And I was so surprised when you said, okay, so you probably do well with the Gemini or Sagittarius. I'm like, what? Because I was like, whoa, that's like not even, I didn't even anticipate that. But I trust you because you're so bang on that I knew that what you were saying was true in so many ways because I do resonate with a lot of Gemini and Sag. But I never really thought that was possible because a lot of the pages that you read say not, with what I've got going on.
I think one of the downsides and one of the cautionary uh, is ideas that I would share with people is not to fixate on the sun sign because once someone
No,
fixates on the sun sign and then they start comparing all the other signs of the zodiac to that one sign,
yeah,
they begin to get, these belief systems.
yeah,
And, we are our thoughts, right? What we believe
right,
to be true.
right.
So I'm gonna advise or suggest that if you unravel and unpack those belief systems that you might have around Gemini and Sagittarius based on how they interact with Capricorn, and especially I'm going to echo what
Hmm,
you said. Yeah, I'm going to echo what you said about Capricorn, that you're not your typical Capricorn. And
no,
why is that? Then you went on to, give us the breakdown, the rundown on all the
right,
planetary placements. And we
yeah.
heard fire, we heard air, we heard water, we
Mhm.
heard
Yeah,
all of these
I'm a messed
elements
up
of
cat.
signs that have nothing to do with Capricorn. Uh,
No.
yeah, and I would say there's more of those other placements than there are
Yes.
of Capricorn. Yes, you
That's
have Venus.
interesting because
Yes,
most
you have
people
Venus in Capricorn.
fixate on that. Like most people would say, okay, well, that's not going to work because it doesn't jive.
No.
But if you have, let's say, a Sag with a Libra moon, how does that work with somebody a Capricorn with a Scorpio moon and Pisces rising? Like, how does that work?
How does what work?
Well, if someone has, let's say, Sag, Sun, and Libra moon, for example, or a Gemini with a Virgo moon. Like, I mean, that's just like so many combinations. It's just so
Okay.
hard to know.
Okay. So the other thing is listen, astrology is a complex system.
Very,
It's a complex system, and I don't want to say complicated. I want to purposefully say complex.
yes.
So when something is complex, that really for me, that means, okay, all right, complex doesn't really scare me because what that means to me is that I have to
Mm.
take it in bite-sized pieces like layers.
Right.
So anytime you would go to an astrology class, I would hope, including my own, I'll speak from experience, I would hope that what you're experiencing is you're learning the foundational, then you're learning the next layer and the next layer until you start building that house. And building a house is kind of complex because it takes a lot of
Mm.
resources to do that, right? Takes
Right.
a lot of things that you need to use. Well,
Okay,
that's so
so like
that's what I'm going to
example.
say is that when you tell me about a Virgo moon,
Mm.
I'm thinking, yeah, you don't have Virgo in your chart necessarily. You may not have it.
I do have
But
one. That's it.
okay. But and I think it's Pluto if I'm not mistaken. But it doesn't matter even if you didn't, let's say you didn't have any Virgo, you do
Right.
have Capricorn. So you have the element of earth, and
Mm.
Virgo is the other. There's three signs to each element. Virgo is the other earth element. And
Right.
anytime you combine, even though it's not Virgo to Virgo, you combine another earth element with another earth element, you're creating a trine. And the trine is the most easy and flowing energy.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Interesting. Because I have someone who just doesn't want to let it go. Like, they want to keep connecting with me. And they're Gemini with a Virgo moon and Scorpio rising. So I have Scorpio moon. And so they
Well, that would make sense to me.
really?
Yeah, because you have Jupiter in Gemini, and
Hmm.
his sun in Gemini is attracted to that Jupiterian part of you. Like he
Hmm.
feels the symbiosis,
Hmm.
between the two of you because you've got a big planet like Jupiter, and Jupiter is the guru. We talked about Jupiter tonight. It's the guru, and
Yes. Yes.
it's the teacher, and it's the higher knowledge, and it's the wisdom. That's where the guru comes from, right? Because
Right.
the guru has wisdom contained within. So, yeah, so he wants to align with you. And then you have the Scorpio moon on his ascendant, which
Yeah. What
means
does that
that,
mean?
well, he feels that you get him, like you
Yeah.
feel safe to him
Yeah.
because you're the
I
moon
understand him. I
representation.
understand him a lot. And that's, yeah. It's
Okay.
an interesting combo. It's like I don't know. Now that you've explained it, it's great because now now I know why and why he continues to pursue me. Um, Months later, many months later, it's like he doesn't. He's relentless, and
And his
yeah,
moon in Virgo is, if his moon in Virgo may be sitting in your seventh house of partnerships and marriage.
I wonder.
And
I
that
should
is
look.
a that is one of the key indications that we also look for in terms of a potential of being a life partner or a marriage partner.
But here's the question. See, this person, and I'm gonna get frank. I dated them for a year, and I ended up finding out that they were dating their ex sporadically for the whole year. So I found, something in the closet. I was looking for a towel just to shower, and I found something that said a card that said "Happy Birthday from the love of your life." And this person is a Virgo, and he has a Virgo moon. So, but
Oh,
they're
I thought he was
Virgo
a Gemini.
with yeah, he's a Gemini, but this person is a Virgo with a Virgo moon,
Oh,
right? Or
she. Oh,
no, Virgo with a Scorpio moon, and
okay.
he's a Gemini with a Virgo moon. So you're talking Virgo moon with a Virgo sun, but she has a Scorpio moon and he has a Virgo moon. So I'm not sure how that works out.
Well, that's the Virgo and Scorpio signs are complementary. It's not like
Right.
they're in conflict.
So we're kind of in, I guess, competition with each other, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. So,
Well,
yeah.
I don't know that you're in competition with each other, but I will say what I do know.
Mhm.
or what
Mhm.
I am kind of confident in saying is that he gravitates to those signs. If you notice,
Very
uh,
much. It's
yeah, between the Scorpio and the Earth sign,
right, but they fight
he's
a lot apparently, like a lot, a lot. Like, she's
yeah,
very wanting to be in control and dominate the situation. So I don't know how that works, but I'm not that kind of person. So,
right.
I've always been the
So
nice
what
person.
happens is you have different placements than
Hmm.
she does.
Right. I think we've lost Gigi again. Shoot. Okay, so guys, I think that what we're gonna do, I want to say, just as like a primer for tomorrow, because I don't know if Gigi's gonna come back on, but I want to pull this tarot card because I know that she does a little bit of tarot, and this is the Hangman. This is huge. I don't know what this means, so we're gonna leave this as a tomorrow thing. This is huge. This is like really significant because I know from past experience I've had people pull this card and I can't remember what it means, but I know that tomorrow we're going to talk about this, and it's huge based on what's going on earthwise, and all of this Venus and all this crap. Like, it's huge. So I want everyone to tune in tomorrow, and we're going to talk more about this Venus and retrograde, which is I can't even think about Venus in retrograde. That's like I've already been through the ringer and back in terms of love and all of that, and I'm sure a lot of you have been. So I'm gonna say, for tonight, we're gonna wrap this up, but tomorrow we're gonna do a major broadcast on all of this stuff again. We're gonna talk about the Hangman, which I don't know what that means, but we're gonna find out from Gigi, who is the astrologer. And I want to bid you adieu for tonight. And I hope that you're doing well. And this lead up to 2022, which is going to be huge. But let's end this on a good note. And I'm glad that Gigi was able to come on and say her piece, which was huge. And we're going to continue this tomorrow. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow.